Welcome to the National University online class. I am again Mohammad Fazal Abdi is conducting this class as a professor, Department of English, Government KC College, Srinagar. My dear students, I would like to take the class on letter writing today. This will be my class lecture number 9, and it has included in your English writing skills course. So hope you will be benefited from this class about letter writing. My dear students, I have made two sections actually in this class. Two ways I want to take my class today. First of all, I would like to discuss on formal letters, and the later part of my class, I would like to give you the ideas, the techniques, all about the techniques and ideas on informal letters. So first of all, we'd like to see what is formal letters, or what the main function of formal letters. So it has said in this way, they can shape others' perception of you. Formal letters will make you the feel, or you can see, you can realize that what other people make the perception of you. Inform the reader of a serious issue, or these formal letters inform the reader of a serious issue, that some serious matter has been done, serious things has been happened, and and from that particular formal letter, you can get the idea about that serious issue, or get you a job. If you have written a formal job letter, then this type of formal job letter can give you a job also. There are two main types of business letter styles. Actually, the formal letters, I want to discuss about mainly the business letter that is in business, the letters that are in business. And what is that? Two main types of business letter style, that is block style and administrative management style. And first of all, it's a block style, and then the second one is the administrative management style. In a short form, it has written AMS. So first of all, I would like to discuss on block style. Block style is the most commonly used formal letter format. So my main discussion will be on block style, because as it is said that it is the most commonly used formal letter format. This letter format is the most common way that the most of the offices, most of the organizations follow. What is what's that, or what's the features of that block style? It has written in this way. It has a salutation and closing. And is good for letters to business you are applying to, or someone you have met before. If you want to make the good for the letters or the business you want to intend it, then you can apply this style of formal letters. Or it has written that someone you have met before, that you are very much acquainted with that particular office or with that particular person, then you can also apply this format of business letter or formal letter. AMS style is more succinct and better for internal memos. The second style, that is administrative management style, it is said in this way that it is more succinct and better for internal memos. If you want to circulate your formal letters internally in your office, between the people that you are working with, then you can follow the AMS style. You can follow that style. And situations where you have to be very direct, or the situation has come that you have to make a direct contact, you have to make the direct direction, or you have to make the direct announcement. I should say the announcement word is more appropriate. If you feel that I have to announce it very directly, that my colleagues, my internal employees, my workers can feel that the importance or the seriousness of that matter, then you can follow the administrative management style. Okay, move to the next. I have, first of all, my dear student, I have give you the example, actually, the real life example that about this traditional block style letter. So you can see, you can write it in the left side from the beginning of your formal letter. If you follow the block style letter, that the name of the company and their address has been written. The company inc dot is the name of the company. What's the address? 123 Alphabet Drive, Los Angeles, California. This is an American company. Okay. So it is written in this way. Write the sender's address, that the address is from which the address is coming, from where the address is coming, and telephone number. You can put telephone number on the top left. Remember, top left hand side of the page. If you are representing a company, write the company's address. If you are not the owner of the company, representative of that company, you can write the company's name, address also, as it has written in my examples or in the previous slide. If you are the sender, write your address. If you the direct owner, or you are the main person to deal with, the main person to make the contact, then you can write your address, because you are the main representative, or you are the main person to make the direct contact with that particular institution or particular office. So you can give directly your address in that. Second one is date. As you have found that with that particular address, I have put a date also, and that is 27 August 2019. About the date, it has written, place the date directly below the sender's address. As you have seen, that first of all, there is a sender's address, then I have put the date after that. It should be one line beneath the sender's address. When you have finished the sender's address, just put a line break and then put the date in that part, in that position. The date is important for two reasons. Why you will give the date? It is written that you should give the date for two main reasons. If you are, first of all, if you are trying to get the person or organization to complete a task in a timely manner, if you feel that my date will remind that particular company or organization or that person that, oh, that letter has come in this date, so from this date, I will start my processing, or start my work, or start my the responsibility. I will continue my responsibility, continue my work, continue the assignment, and then he or she will feel that, okay, from that particular date, I will take 1 week or 3 days or 5 days, whatever you think that the time you need to complete. You can get the idea, I should say, the minimum idea or the start of idea that yes, from that date, I have to actually manage, or I have to continue, or I have to complete my task that is given to me from that particular date, and then I will take whatever the necessary times I need to spend to complete the task, or complete the work, complete the assignment. You can do in your own way. Or if you need to save a copy of the letter for legal reasons, if you want to preserve that copy of the letter, then the date is very important. The date will remind you that, oh, I have sent this letter to that particular office or that particular organization or particular person that on that very date. So things are given formally, or things are given, if any legal issues arise the letter, in letter, then you can cite it as you can preserve it as your proof, preserve it as your document that I have informed them on that particular date. So they are well informed, they are well known about the date, and simply they can't deny. Actually, it is a written document, so they simply can't deny that yes, they have received the letter on that particular date. So they have to make the compensation, or they have to make the direct action, or whatever action they have to take. The date is absolutely necessary for that. Then comes the recipient's name. Recipient's name, whoever you want to give the address, or whoever you want to send the letter, that it has come after the date. that I have written that Mr. John Doe, he is the recipient, he will receive the letter. Who is he? He is customer service representative. We get Keller, the company name, .inc, N987. We get straight, Miami, Florida. This is the address of the recipients. First of all, you have, my dear students, look at that. First of all, I have written the name of the recipients, then the position, what position he belongs, that is the customer service representative. Then the address of the recipients has come. That's why it is written that place the recipient's name and online beneath the tent. Just again, after online, you will can place the recipient's name. Okay, then comes the matter of salutation. Salutation is also very important. Yeah, I have used dear Mr. Doe. Dear Mr. Doe. So you give the person you are addressing a salutation. That means Mr. Doe is my, maybe I have accounted with him. That's why I have addressed it as dear Mr. Doe. Then comes the body of the letter. I've just given give example that after salutation, then come the body, and I am writing you concerning a recent purchase of because I have not mixed the details, just give you the idea. But look at that, I have written here 3 sentences actually, though there is not much words in the sentences, but I have just give you the clue, just give you the idea about the body of the letter, that there are places 3 sentences. Okay, about that, it is written in this way, write the body of the letter. The body of the letter need not be more than 3 paragraphs. Need not be more than 3 paragraphs. Maximum, you can put 3 paragraphs in that body of the letter. In the first paragraph, what you have to do, write a friendly opening and then state the reason or goal of the letter. From the very first paragraph, you will make a friendly opening line. Then how are you, how's your business going on, or something like this. Then state the reason or the purpose of your letter directly. Just after the friendly opening line, you just come to the business, I should say, directly come to the business, that why you are sending this letter, or what's your purpose of sending this letter, what's your ultimate goal or ultimate expectation from that letter, you can state that. In the second paragraph, use examples to stress or underline your point. In the second paragraph, you can give the examples that if it's about any problem, then you can cite those problems. You can cite those problems that I have purchased some electronic gadgets, or I have purchased some material, electronical material, whatever you have done. But but later I have found that there is a big problem, big issue with those electronic gadgets or electronic materials that I have got from you. There's a serious issue, and maybe this is the main point. Maybe this is the main point of your letter, of your writing. Then you can underline those points. That is the highlighting things. This is the matters that I want to get solved from your company. This is my expectation that you can take some serious steps. You can take some serious actions. Whoever or who are the persons are behind that, they have given such a wrongly made materials to my company. Whatever, you can give it. That's why it is written that use examples to stress, to give some pressure to the recipient's company that there are some faulty things are coming, or some serious matter has been done, or maybe they are crossed the deadline, that maybe you expect this expect these materials that will be sent on maybe 26th August, but you have not yet received that. That's why in 27 August, after the deadline, you have found that I should send a letter to that company that why they are delaying the process of sending the materials to my company, that I have felt disturbed, or I felt my work is stopped for delaying that, for the dealing of that company, for dealing that the process. So you can underline this point also if possible. Then in the final paragraph, briefly summarize your purpose in writing. Again, in the final paragraph, you can summarize remind those problems or issues that has been raised, and suggest how you want to proceed further. Then you yourself can suggest that if the company made the immediate action, or if the company sent the materials in 2 or 3 days, then I will be benefited, by my company will be benefited, my work will resume, can resume very soon. In this way, you can give the summarization in your final paragraph. In this way, you can put your process further. Okay, after the body of the letter, again, then comes the matter of salutation. Salutation. Here you have seen that I have written sincerely, sincerely Sam Brown. Sam Brown is the vice president of company. .inc. There's a telephone number or email number also is there. So sign off your letter with the appropriate salutation. It is written that you have to sign off or finish your letter with appropriate salutation. You have to make the salutation correctly. Leave space between your salutation and your printed name for a signature. You'll find that there is a signature of Sam Brown between your salutation. That means sincerely, I have written the word sincerely, and there is a printed name Sam Brown. So in between there is a gap, the small gap. In this small gap, you have to make the space of your, I should say, the sign. You will put sign in that space. That is Sam Brown. This is given the just example of the sign. For the signature if possible. So you should place your signature in that gap. Then comes the question of enclosure. Enclosure. Enclosure, and it's also called, there is a invoice. That's the word invoice. In bracket there's a 2. Then I will make it clear in this number 7 of my point that add the word enclosure below your signature block or job title. When you have finished your signature or your job title, that means your company's name or something like this, only then you can put your put the word, add the word enclosure. Enclosure means addition. That with that letter you want to give some additional documents, additional papers, then you can use this word enclosure. So here it is written in this way. Only do this if you enclosing other material, as I have said, that apart from the letter, if you want to add some papers, add some documents with your letter, formal letter, then you can use the word enclosure. Then the recipient person or company can easily gauge that from that very letter. Apart from the very letter, there will be some documents also that is attached, I should say, attached to the formal letters, such as a resume. It can be a resume or biodata we commonly called, or schedule. Maybe the business schedule, tender schedule is there along with the letter. This all can be included in your enclosure section. So you can do that. And last of all, proofread. Whenever, as it is a formal letter, it can be easily understood as that it's a formal letter. So obviously, you have to proofread your letter. That there should be no scope of making any mistakes, serious mistakes in your formal letter. So you have to you have to read more and more, 2 or 3 maybe times, that there should be no gap, there should be no scope of making any mistakes. So proofread your letter, double check the spelling of names, as I have told that there should be no spelling mistakes. That's why it is written. The double check the spelling of names, addresses. This is a very serious issue. We can mistake the name of the name of a person or address of the person. These are the very important things. You have to be double check. You have to do the double check about that. Make sure your writing is clear and concise. You should make your sense clear. Make your writing is clear, because the actually you have you want to type the composing the letter. So I believe that that will be easy to make the writing is clear, and it should be concise. You can, as it's not a informal or personal letter, so you can't take much much time, or I should say there is not a bigger scope to write the letter in a essay pattern or like this. It should be concise in a limited form. fix any grammar errors. If there is any grammatical errors or grammar errors, you have to fix it. You have to make correction. You have to make the correction. Okay, my dear students, I believe that from that examples of formal letters or the features from the formal letters, you can get the idea of how you can write a formal business letter or formal letter to any company or to any person. So I hope you can understand the methods or the techniques of writing formal letters. So as I have told you earlier, that I have made this class in two sections. This is my second section, second options of today's class, that is informal letters. Informal letters. How, what do we mean by informal letters, or how we can write the informal letters? I will discuss about in my in this part of my lecture. Let's take a look about the features or about the definition of informal letters. Informal letters are written to close acquaintances of the writer. Is the first, or the foremost, or the most highlighting point is that informal letters are written to close acquaintance of the writer. The people who are very close to me or close to you, then you can write informal letters to them. So it's very easy. If those people are not close, are not acquainted very much with you, you can't write informal letters to them. Then you should have to write formal letters to them. If they are not close to you, not very much known to you, you are not acquainted much with them or him or her, then you can't write informal letters. Then you have to write formal letters. So informal letters for them, those people, sorry, those people who are very much close to you, their friends, family, relatives, etc. Or the person you are very much close, you can also write to their families, their friends, relatives, and your relatives or your friends, whoever you are very close. Since they are written to close relations, the letters have an informal and personal tone. Obviously, they are very close to you, so you can make as it is name is informal letter, so there should not be formality, should not be there are any formalities in those letters, and at the same time, you have to keep the personal tone. You have to keep the personal tone. If there is a personal tone or touch in the informal letters, then the reader or the people or the men or the women or the friends or family relatives, whoever you are sending the letters, they will feel the personal touch from your informal letter. So you have to keep it informally and also in a personal tone, personal touch, to write the informal letters. So for this, what you can do casual, you can write in a casual language. That's why it's written casual language is used while writing informal letters. You can write casual language, no problem about that, as they are very close to you, as their friends to you, as their relatives to you. So you can write casual language, no problem about that, which is not acceptable for writing formal letters. Casual language cannot be used in the formal letters, but in formal letters you can use casual language as you wish, no problem about that. And sometimes the letters may even have an emotional undertone. If the matter is about emotional matter, emotional thing, then you can also write in that way also. You just want to express your feelings about that particular person or about that particular family or that particular relatives, whatever. You can express your emotion, express your feelings, express your position about in your one way. There's no problem about that. You can do that. You can do that. When if any close relatives of you unfortunately got the accident, or certain dead news has come, or you are writing to the person you are in love with, you are in love, or you like that person, you want to express your personal feelings to that particular person, then you can write for your informal letters. You want just that's the basic thing, is that you want to convey the message, and these informal letters are the way to convey the message. You want to send that message to that particular person, that whatever you feel about him or her or about them, your feelings is there, and you are sending, or you want to touch that feelings with that very way of informal letters. Informal letters are mainly used for personal communication. There's no doubt about that. As I have said, that you want to send your feelings or message, send your ideas, send your thinking, thoughts, anything about that particular thing. So it's the way of communicating. Of course, it's a way of communication or communicating in a personal level. Personal level. If the formal letter, that would be official communication. For the official communication, you are writing formal letters. But informal letters absolutely is written, or absolutely is meant for personal communication. So they do not have to follow any specific pattern, as it is, as I have said, that as it is informal, as it is, you can write in an emotional tone. You can write in the emotional tone, and also it's meant for personal communication. So there is no hard and fast rules about writing, or any specific pattern like informal letters in the informal letters. So it is written in this way, that you do not have to follow any specific pattern, format, or conventions. My dear student, I have just given an example of an informal letters. So in the very beginning of the right side of your letter, right side, not the left side, right side of a letter, you can cite your address that you are sending. That I just give the example, sector 17, Uttara, Dhaka, and the date is given there, 6th July 2020. Then comes the salutation, that is dear Maya, sorry, which is come to the middle, but it should come to the left. Then there is 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe there is a 4 paragraphs is there. The first, I have written thank you very much for your last letter. Then thanks also for these photographs. Maybe he has sent some photographs. You have written in the second paragraph. Then there is not much happening here. Then you express your own situation, your own emotions, or own thinking, that what is going around you, what you are doing now, what's what's your position at this moment. So you can write in this paragraph also. By the way, are you coming home anytime soon? So at the end of the paragraph, you are just make sure that in the future, how they will meet in future, how they will meet, or how they will communicate, you can write in this way. Last of all, you have seen that hope to see you soon. You are expressing or hope that you will meet him soon or soon. Then you finish it up with the name, Lavoni. Right. Okay. Okay, then comes the question of format of informal letter. As we have already discussed, that there is no hard and fast rules, no strict rules, no particular rules for writing informal letters. But there's a convention, behind everything there is a convention, or there is tradition. So I just like to discuss in this way. As we discussed earlier, there is no set format when writing an informal letter, as I have told, but there is a general pattern. There is a general pattern that people used to follow. The pattern that the people used to follow, habituated to follow, like to follow. Of course, there is a general pattern. It is written in this way. Some conventions that people usually follow, as I have told, that some general patterns, some conventions are there that people usually like to follow in the informal letter. Though we say that there is not really any particular strict rules or particular strict points to write any format of informal letter. We will be looking at this pattern and certain tips on how to write effective and attractive informal letters. But as there are some conventions, as there are some general pattern, so certainly we would like to give you some tips about what? About to write effective and attractive informal letters. So let us begin. First of all, address. Then comes the point of address. The first thing to write is your address. From the example that I've given in my informal letter section, I think already you have got the pictorial thought about about an informal letter. Just I have written in this in a language format that what you have to do. First of all, you have to write your address. That means the address of the writer. We usually write the address on the left hand side. Have you seen that the address which is placed in the left side, in the left hand of the page at the very top? And you usually write the address should be accurate and complete. It may be I have written in the right side of the top, but you can write in the left side of the top also. That's why it is written that we usually write the address on the left hand side of the page or the very top. The address should be accurate and complete. But when you have written the address, it should be accurate and complete. Then comes the date, question of date. Next, just below the address, we write the date, as you have also seen that I have written in the right side of the letter. I have put a date also there. You can write in the left side and also in the right side. What is not the problem, but you have to place the date after just below the address. This allows the reader to have a reference as to when the address was written. Then the reader can get the idea that when you have written this informal letter, it just gives the idea about writing the date of the letter. Then comes the question of greeting. Greeting, many ways. Actually, there is a lot of ways of greet your the person whom you are writing. Now, since you know the person you are writing to, the greeting can be informal as well. As it is an informal letter, and also you know the person very well, so you can greet the person in an informal way. There is no problem about that. If it is a friend or someone close to your age, you can greet them by their first name. If the person is very close to you, you can greet them with their first name, like dear Alex. I just give examples. If you are writing to a relative like your mother, father, aunt, uncle, etc., if they are senior persons, you can greet them as such. For example, their mom, their father, their aunt, their uncle. You can do that. And if you are writing to an elder person, someone you respect greatly, you can address them as Mr. or Mrs. If he's close to you, or if he is known to you, acquainted with you, but the person you personally feel the respect, you respect greatly, as it is written that you respect greatly, then you can use Mr. or Mrs. Just very beginning of the name, you can put Mr. or Mrs. No problem. Like if you're writing a congratulatory letter to your teacher, if you write a congratulatory letter to your teacher for congratulating him or her for any achievement, for any reward, or anything like this, it can be addressed as dear Mrs. Alex, dear Mrs. Alex, or dear Mr. Alex. You can write in this way, or the person whom you greatly respect or respect greatly. Then comes the question of introduction paragraph. Now we begin writing the actual letter. You are beginning to write the real letter. The introductory paragraph sets the tone for the whole letter. Like the other writing formats of writing skills, it's also in the informal letter also. In the introductory paragraph says the tone, says the way for the whole letter. You might begin by asking the recipient about their well-being, how their health is going on, what the condition of the health, condition of their family, how their kids, how about their kids. You can asking the question. You can ask the question about that. The opening of informal letters should be casual and comforting. Of course, it should be casual and comforting. You can comport give the comfort or casual approach in your introduction paragraph. So we can do that. Then comes the question of body of the letter. The letter overall should maintain a friendly tone, as it is written earlier also. A friendly tone should be maintained. There will be no serious issue. It should be in a friendly tone. But you have to adjust the language and the wordings according to whom you are writing to. But though a friendly tone will be maintained throughout the informal letters, but the matter of language and wordings can be varied, can be changed according to whom you are writing to, according to the there is some factors like I have also in my greeting section, as I have written, the same thing will be applicable for the body of the letter also. If the person is very close friend to, we can write any sort of language, casual wordings, informal wordings, no problem about that. But if they're seniors to you, senior person, your mom, your dad, your uncle, aunt, then the wordings and language should be different. It's a common sense actually. It's a common sense, very common sense that the words and language that you have used for your close friend, those types of words and language can't be written, can't be applicable when you are writing to a senior, though they are very close to you, they are very adorable to you, but it doesn't matter because of to respect their ages, respect their positions, you have to adjust the language and the wordings. So you have to be a little bit careful about that. Though it's informal letters, but you should be taken some serious thinking about this. The thought process should be there. Okay, in the conclusive paragraph, sum up the reason for writing the letter. In the conclusive paragraph, you have to sum up why you are writing this letter. Is there any purpose of writing the essay? Is there any personal matter, personal issue? Is there or not? Or just for casually you have written this? Whatever you can read, you can write in the conclusive paragraph. That means summarize the letter, say a meaningful and affectionate goodbye to the reader. In this section, you should make a meaningful and affectionate goodbye to the reader, just to feel him good, feel her good. And do not forget to invite the reader to write back or reply to your letter. Then you will also that you should write to me, you should reply to my letter or something like this. You can do this. Then comes about the signature. There is no one way to sign off informal letters. Lot of ways you can sign off your or finish your informal letters. Since they do not follow a strict format, you may sign off as you please. As I have already discussed, you can sign off your letter as per your wish, as per your please. You can do this commonly. Just give some cite some examples, give some examples about some commonly used phrases like lots of love, best wishes, kind regards. You can write in this way, finish the informal letters in this way. That's why it is written. Pick the one that best suits the occasion and then simply sign your name and below the with. So just put that best wishes, anything from the phrases, then you put your name below. Just very much greeting, you can just write your name. So with this, I like to conclude my class here. So thank you all.